Hi everyone, I'm Joan. Baltimore, prepare to be schooled. Hit me, Christian. Now when I say parking, you say spaces, parking. Spaces. Parking. Spaces. People park like idiots. Looking into my time, so parking alone could drive you insane. Of course, there are limitations to this presentation. This may not be relevant to you. So if you don't own or use a car, I kindly ask that you judge in silence, or you can sit quietly and let your smug look say everything. So what's a waste of space? Well, let's define it first by looking at what we're not talking about. The things I could say about parking garages alone: parking over the line, having trucks park in compact spaces, folks ignoring the head-in-only signs. What I'm talking about is parking on residential streets, specifically where there are no meters, no lines. We're talking about parallel parking spaces. If you're leaving this much room, you're creating a waste of space. Let's look at a few more examples. You're going to see on the upper left, just to note the space that's being wasted, compounded by the extra waste at the end of the block in the second photo. In the third photo, I've taken those two wasted spaces and added them up. Here you have enough space for one car, not to mention 45 minutes that you wasted looking for a spot. In different neighborhoods on too many streets, I could see that space was being wasted. But how much were we talking about? Well, I went out and measured. We're looking at anywhere from 3 feet and change to over 6 feet. Let's go with the average wasted space, around 4.5 feet. If you take the average length of a vehicle, which is 15 feet, then a block which should fit 10 cars on each side might only fit 8 on one side. At least 2 cars are now out of a spot. Looky, it's a space just for me. I love not putting in effort. If you're a person getting screwed out of parking because of this behavior, it can put you in a lousy mood. It creates ill feeling towards your neighbors, your loved ones, and humankind. And let's be real, your parking is making you look like more of an entitled jerk than you already are. And because of what you're projecting into the universe, glass-like shards of karma are spiraling down from the heavens, and they're headed right towards you. Okay, so you've decided to ignore my points about the greater good. That's fine. I realize that a little bit of awareness may not be enough. I mean, people still smoke. People collect exotic animals. They invite their in-laws for an open-ended visit. It's just for the weekend. I don't think so. Do you really want this? Because you know it's around the corner. The future is like a horrible dream from which you will never wake up. People will get all crazy and start making perpendicular parking spaces. You've pushed my hand, waster of space. Now that we're all on the same page, it's time to talk about a solution. The first step begins with parallel parking. I don't have enough time or energy to cover that here, but I do encourage you guys to practice. Step 2, choose front or back. Once you are in a space, particularly one that is quite a bit larger than your vehicle, you need to either pull up to the car in front of you or get closer to the car behind you. This is how you avoid leaving a waste of space. If you're not sure which car to get closer to, choose the car in front. It's much easier to judge how close you are. If you can see the bottom of the rear tires of the car in front of you, then you are way far. In the photo, you'll notice this left me with nearly 7 feet of wasted space. Looking at sedans, compacts, basically cars that aren't usually raised, you left a decent amount of space when you can see the bottom of someone's brake lights. In the photo, you'll see that it leaves you with a generous 1-foot space. Next, I looked at Jeeps and other vehicles where you tend to sit higher up. In the photo on the left, you're going to see the driver of the Jeep is looking down at the point where the hood of their car kind of meets the bottom of the other car's brake lights. So the same method also leaves a raised vehicle, like a Jeep, with a 1-foot space. Of course, I have to acknowledge that there are some blocks in Baltimore that definitely get it right. On the left are examples of where everyone's car can usually fit. On the photo on the right, you'll notice how much space is needed by the highly skilled. I don't think that we need to go that far to park considerately. So now that you are well aware of the problem and of wasted spaces and how to avoid them, lead by example. And bring this topic up at your next cocktail party. Engage your fellow citizens the next time you serve on jury duty. And don't stop there. Hell, the next time someone tries to sell you something, whether it's a timeshare or salvation or something like that, you can both confuse and delight them. Sorry, I'm not really interested in that condo in Mazatlan, but let me tell you about this parking problem. But don't worry, there's a way to fix it. Door-to-door salespeople will never return. Buskers will move to new corners. Are you selling salvation? I am telling you that the people hoping to save your soul will convert as soon as you ask them, how would Jesus park? So I ask you guys to go forth and spreadeth the word. Thank you.